Microsoft's underwater data center. In 2018, Microsoft put a $25 million data center at the bottom of the Scottish Sea just off the coast of Orkney as an experiment. The data center contained 864 servers and 27.6 petabytes of data. If you know anything about electronics, you'll know they don't mix well with water. So why did they do this? The theory they were testing was the cost of cooling the data center would be cut by placing them underwater. Companies spend a huge amount of money every day keeping their on-land data centers cool, as the infrastructure inside them produces a huge amount of heat. If they could use the seawater to cool the data center, it would be far cheaper. Also, over half of the world's population lives within 120 miles of the coast. If Microsoft could prove these underwater data centers work, they could deploy them everywhere to better serve coastal areas without expanding their on-land data centers. They also believe the servers will be less prone to hardware failure, as there will be no oxygen and less water vapor and humidity in the atmosphere, which would reduce corrosion, which is a significant problem in on-land data centers. So how did they stop the data center getting damaged by the water it was submerged in? The servers were first inserted into a large watertight tube in France. We can see them being loaded into the tube here. There were 12 racks of servers put into the tube in total, and it was then sealed. It was then transported by truck to Scotland and loaded onto a barge, where it was slowly lowered 117 feet to the seabed. The data center was connected to a renewable energy source on land via the power and data cable we can see here, and powered on for the first time. It was in use for 2 years, with people connecting to it to use the internet, stream films, and play games the same as they would with an on-land data center. After 2 years on the seabed, the data center was brought back to the surface in 2020, cleaned and sent for analysis, marking the end of the project. So what did Microsoft discover about underwater data centers versus on-land data centers? Microsoft found that the underwater data center had only an eighth of the failure rate they see in their on-land data centers. Microsoft believes that the atmosphere of nitrogen, which is less corrosive than oxygen, and the absence of people to bump and move components are the primary reasons for the difference. The servers that did fail were simply taken offline remotely, and the data center continued to function as normal. Overall, the project was found to be a huge success due to the cost savings on cooling the data center and the huge reduction of server failure compared with on-land data centers. Microsoft plans to continue the project on a larger scale in the near future. Thanks for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you found this video useful.